Chubb's injury, do you see them changing a lot from a run scheme standpoint without him, or is it just kind of plug and play?
Probably more the latter. Just small sample size with the one game, but yeah, sticking to their normal plan. Very potent run game. Some of the best in the league, so we expect the same.
Like we obviously saw Tom Hamilton and how he was used this past week. Do you think with his versatility and other teams' strengths and stuff, it's going to be a week thing with him and where he plays and how much you need him in the nickel and all that?
Yeah, I'd say that's a fair assessment. Again, we've talked his versatility for forever now, it seems like, but definitely allows you to have that flexibility on a week-to-week basis on how much. I don't think the plan was to put him there the whole time. And you see how games go. So, and then where we're at personnel-wise as well, that we'll be driving those decisions from a week to week and then throughout a game basis.
Mike, how seamless or how impressed have you been by Darrell Worley's translation from cornerback to safety and be able to basically be an every down defender for you guys on Sunday?
Yeah, that's a great point. Really seamless, I guess, is a great way to explain it. Throughout the spring and the offseason, it felt like a seasoned vet back there and understanding kind of the eye progression and the overlap and the things we're trying to create in the secondary. Just had a great feel for it from the get-go. So seamless is a good way to describe it.
When you have a guy like him or Moon play that many snaps in the game, how do you approach this week just in terms of workload or making sure they don't get tired out after the game?
Yeah, you don't want anybody playing 100 snaps, but obviously the game unfolded a certain way, and you got to do what you got to do to try to win the game. But it's a tough league going back and 7 days later, and sometimes 3 or 4 days later having to play a game. So these guys are pros. Harbs does a great job of setting the schedule up, and we have a bunch of recovery things that guys are taking advantage of. Everyone has their own individual kind of plan on a week-to-week basis, but those guys, we're talking, they're a little sore, but they said they'll be ready to go.
You're blitzing at a higher percentage than you were last year. Is that driven by the fact that you're missing a lot of guys on the edge? Is it more about sort of the matchups you faced so far? I mean, what's pushing that right now?
Well, it's something that we want the ability to do at any given point. So you're to have the threat of a blitz on either side or up the middle or double edge or whatever. You're always want that threat to an offense. So that's just part of our identity. I think you might not have seen it last year for several reasons, probably what we felt like our team strengths were and how good we were at the different, kind of pressure packages that they were able to get to. So I think it's still a game plan idea, but it's something that, we're definitely going to carry and have the ability to get to at any point in time.
Mike, watching tape of the Browns this week, did you see a clear difference with Watson and how comfortable he was in his play last week than you had from when you were watching him the first 2 games?
It's tough to gauge his comfort level. Definitely the effectiveness and the efficiency of the offense. You can obviously go by the stats and the score and things like that, but feel like they're finding their stride and who they want to be. You can definitely for sure.
Mike, what impresses you about how they use Amari Cooper kind of hunting for matchups, just his ability to line up anywhere and be successful?
Yeah, they do a great job. It's you don't see that a lot of receivers playing all those different types of positions, and they find different ways on a week-to-week basis to scheme them open. To your point, and it's credit to him. It's not easy to be a receiver and learn all 3 spots, sometimes 4 spots, and learn the whole route tree from there. So definitely a dynamic player that we're going to have to account for and understand where he's at all times.
Coach, in terms of the intangibles that some of these guys bring, in terms of Patrick Queen, we saw him, take responsibility for the loss per se, like after this game. After this last game, what have you seen from him in that aspect, personality-wise, getting more comfortable to being a leader?
Talking about just with PQ.
Yeah.
It's the PQ that we know and love. I mean, it's nothing different that we expected. It's nothing out of the ordinary from him. To me, it's the guy that we know, on a day-to-day basis. And I'd speak to the whole defense and team rather. The mentality and the things and the discussions that we had after the game. Not that you're proud to hear it, but it's reflective of the character of the guys we have on the team. Everyone's looking inwardly. We're humble and hungry enough to look for things that we can do differently on an individual basis and eventually make our team better, to take the next step and become the team we want to be over the course of the year. We're 3 games in, going into a 4th game. We got hopefully a bunch more after this. And really, I think that attitude is reflective, throughout the locker room.
Their defense has obviously been tremendous so far. Is that something that you pay attention to at all, or does it stoke any competitive aspect in your players, do you think, or is it you don't play them, so it's not really on the radar?
Our focus is really just how good can we be as our defense, and what we can do to win the game. Obviously, they got great stats right now, so got to give credit where credit's due. But we have enough to worry on our side of the ball.
As far as run defense, what do you want to kind of improve upon? I know the Colts did run 30 sometimes to get those yards, but as far as the defense, what do you want to see improved in that aspect?
Well, to your point, there was definitely a standard here in run defense, and you can't give up 4 explosive runs. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. There's really a couple of them we lost the edge on two runs on the 24-yarders, and then we can play the interior runs better on the stretch cutback and the split flow play. We just need to play that play better, and we missed a tackle on that one as well. So we've talked about those plays. The guys, it's very clear on what happened in those plays and who's responsible for it. We'll leave that in house, and we'll just keep attacking it. And this is definitely a challenging run game that brings to the table. So it's all hands on deck this week, as with every week.
Coach, can you talk about Kyle Hamilton's progress, especially after the performance last week, and what you expect from him this week?
Well, he had a great game, and was able to get the ball off the quarterback the one time that probably could have changed the game there at the end of the half. But it's I'm not surprised. It's what we expect from Kyle. He's a guy that we're going to move around, and we expect to influence the game from multiple positions. And the expectation is to do it on a weekly basis. I mean, he's that type of player. So moving forward, just keep being him. Don't reach for plays. Let the plays come to you. But play with the effort that he's playing with, just like the rest of the defense, and keep attacking the ball so we can take it away and give it back to our offense.
Mike, is there anything you need to see from Kyle Van Noy to convince you that if you need him Sunday, he'll be ready to play?
Well, I can tell you this: he's an impressive guy. I mean, from the day that we came in to visit and just getting to know him and talk to him about ball, and he's already got third down thoughts and stuff like that. But it seems like he's been in this defense for however long. But it's impressive. Similar like when Roquan showed up, you're just like, okay, this dude, he knows his stuff. So he's an impressive guy all the way around. Obviously a great football player from what we've seen already on the practice field, and he's got a great track record. So we'll see how it shakes out over the course of the rest of the week. But feel really great about him.